everybody, welcome back to E Cubed. Today we have a word. This is kind of a difficult word. It's an adjective. Sometimes we use it as a noun. The word is retrospective. And many times we just say a retrospective. But it's actually an adjective, a retrospective CD, a retrospective film, a retrospective report. So what does retrospective mean? Spective means to look at, retro means behind, to look at something behind in the history, in the past, to look at something in the past. A retrospective basically means looking at something or someone in the past to understand what developed, or what happened, or why something happened, or why somebody developed as they did. A retrospective. So we talk about retrospectives mainly with artists, like painters or musicians, even film actors or TV actors. A retrospective on their life. That is, we study that person's life to see what influenced them and what made them become the person we know. So, is there a retrospective on Coach Shane? No, because I'm not famous. Is there a retrospective on Pablo Picasso? Yes. Is there a retrospective on the Beatles? Sure, absolutely. And we can also have retrospectives on events in history. To go back in time to study what and how and why something happened, and then to look at the result of that event and understand why perhaps we can learn from a retrospective. Okay? So, let's go ahead and look at a dialogue, and then I'll give a couple more definitions, okay? Are you going to Picasso's retrospective?
Where is it?
At MoMA. I'm going on Friday.
Great! I'd love to go with you.
Actually, the voices sound kind of annoying, but it sounds fun because Picasso's an interesting artist. A retrospective on Pablo Picasso would show his very early work all the way up until he died. When did he die? In the 1970s? I think so. So a retrospective on Pablo Picasso would show his art from the beginning until the end. And you can see how he developed. Pablo Picasso, when he started out as an artist, was brilliant. He could paint pictures that looked like photographs. And then he developed his unique, bizarre style that we know today. So a retrospective on Pablo Picasso, the painter, would be very interesting to me. A retrospective. At MoMA, MoMA would be the Museum of Modern Art. And many cities have a MoMA. There's probably a MoMA in your capital city, wherever you live. And in New York City they have a MoMA, San Francisco has a MoMA, probably in Seoul they have a MoMA, I'm sure they do in Tokyo and Paris and London and all the big cities. Probably have a MoMA, a Museum of Modern Art, and that's the place where you could find a retrospective on Pablo Picasso, a retrospective of his art. Okay, so here we're using it kind of like a noun, a retrospective. Now, a retrospective report is a report done on a period in the past to explain something that has occurred, to explain why it occurred, how it occurred. So it's a retrospective report, explains why and how something occurred. A retrospective concert or CD or book or exhibition regarding art is something that shows and explains the development of the artist from their beginning to their current style or to their death. Does that make sense? So as always, I want you to go online, go to Google, and type in retrospective, and see what kinds of things there are, how the word is used. A retrospective. Okay? Have you ever read a book that was a retrospective on somebody's life? You probably have. We usually call those biographies or autobiographies. Got it? That's today's word, retrospective. It's a great word. It is an adjective, but we do use it as a noun in many cases. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Are you going to Picasso's retrospective?
Where is it?
At MoMA. I'm going on Friday.
Great! I'd love to go with you.
Are you going to Picasso's retrospective?
Where is it?
At MoMA. I'm going on Friday.
Great! I'd love to go with you.
Are you going to Picasso's retrospective?
Where is it?
At MoMA. I'm going on Friday.
Great! I'd love to go with you.